Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the hit podcast show, now streaming on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and iTunes, the Grizzly Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Kennedy Patterson, and today is a special podcast simply because we have one of my favorite friends, an RA. Most of you guys remember I was an RA, and she was an RA with me when my 2-year reign for RA. So we've got Miss Nika Williams here. I'm going to just let you introduce yourself. That's what I like to do. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys. So thank you, Grizzly Talk Podcast, for having me. As Kennedy said, my name is Nika Williams, and today we'll be talking about sickle cell anemia because it is September and it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and I go so hard for this. So I just want to say thank you so much, Kennedy, for having me on your podcast. This means the world to me. This means so much. And I just cannot wait to enlighten your followers, to let them know what I go through on an everyday basis, not only just me, but everybody in the sickle cell community. So whenever you're ready, I can get down to business.
Absolutely. So Nika Williams, a good friend again. RA together, and we finally got it together to do the podcast. We've been waiting a long time to do this podcast, but now we are back on the podcast world. So we're going to go ahead and ask Nika some questions here, and just to really get enlightened, informed of sickle cells. Now, the sickle cells are something that's dear to you.
Yes.
As you've mentioned it to me, you mentioned it to many other people on campus at GGC. Explain to the GGC community what actually is sickle cell and what is it in terms.
So sickle cell is a hereditary disease, which means that my mother had the trait and my father had the trait, and they had me, and so I have sickle cell disease, sickle cell anemia, which is the full-blown disease. So I have hemoglobin SS, also known as your phenotype SS. That is just like the different traits and the different types of sickle cell. A lot of people don't know that there are multiple types of sickle cell. Sickle cell is not just like one broad generic disease. It breaks itself down into categories, basically. So sickle cell, you have like sickle cell SS, which is what I deal with and battle with on an everyday basis. Then you have sickle cell. Sickle cell SS is the most common form of sickle cell, and it is the most the most severe form of sickle cell as well. So that means that we have like most of the complications. We get sick more often, and I'll go into that later. Then you have sickle cell SC, which is the second most common and severe form of sickle cell. Then you have sickle cell beta thal 0. Then you have beta thal plus, and that's the serious form of sickle cell as well. But you don't really hear about it that much. You hear about SS and SC more. Then you have sickle cell SB. Then you have sickle cell trait. And like I said before, the trait comes from both of your parents or just one of your parents, and then that's how you would have a child that has sickle cell disease or sickle cell trait. So it goes from there. So like I said, it was a hereditary disease, so I was born with this disease. So my mother found out that I had sickle cell while I was still in the womb. The doctor told her that I would be born with sickle cell anemia, and they gave her the option to abort me. And I'm so happy that my mom decided to keep me, because like I was put on this earth for a reason, you know, like I'm here serving my purpose, living out my dream, and my purpose and what I do is bigger than myself and it's bigger than life. So if she would have never had me, I would have never been here to spread awareness or go so hard for sickle cell as I do. Everywhere I go, everybody I meet, I make it a point to say, hey, do you know what sickle cell is? I have sickle cell. Are you aware of sickle cell? Because it is a predominantly black disease, you don't really hear about it in the community. And when you go to like different hospitals and different doctors, or even when I ask my peers, they're like, I've never even heard of that before, you know? So my goal in life is to get it out there as much as I can, to spread as much awareness. Even when I'm in class and my teachers ask me a fun fact about me, I always say, I have sickle cell anemia. Do you know what that is? And it starts conversation, you know? So as I said, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, but I do sickle cell awareness 365 days a year, 24/7, because it is just something that has to be pushed out. But I really, really love what I do. Do you have like any questions? I just don't want to ramble.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's good that you're educating, especially me on the podcast, because I didn't know they had different types of sickle cell. So I just got educated just now without me really knowing. I do see your shirt, and I keep staring at it. It's a real art design. It says, you guys, well, maybe the video can see it on IGTV, but on the podcast, you can't really see it. It says Sickle Cell Matters, and then at the bottom it says Hope. So is that, who do you know who designed that? Did you design that?
I did not design this. I don't know who designed this, but if you want the tag, I can get it for you later. I'll pull it up for you. So basically, it was just like a fundraiser. This man, he draws dolls, and he's an artist. So he basically made up this design, put it on a shirt, and raised like a couple of $1,000s for sickle cell research, sickle cell awareness.
Yeah.
So that was really great. I just had to support it because I just wanted all the money we can get. And that's another thing. We're like the least funded for cure, for research, for anything. Like, we're not even at $1 million budget.
Right.
Like how cancer would be, how AIDS would be, HIV. Like, we're still on the bottom of the totem pole, you know? So, like, this is why we're doing so much. We're doing the most. So, like, we can spread awareness, get the money for the research, get the money for the cure, all that things like that. So I'm just going to go into, like, a little bit about what I go through. Is that okay?
Absolutely. That's fine. That's
okay,
fine.
cool.
Educate
So,
us. Please. We want to know.
Okay, so sickle cell, that's when our blood cells are shaped like a crescent. So I would say everybody without sickle cell, I don't like to use the word normal because what is normal? But everybody without sickle cell, your blood cells are round, circular, bouncy, full of oxygen. They move through your bloodstream with ease. They give you your proper oxygen. You know, everything's great. When you have sickle cell, your blood cells are shaped like a crescent moon or a banana. They're sticky. They're not full of life. They don't have much oxygen. And because they're sticky and they're bigger and they're shaped like a crescent moon, when they go through your bloodstream, they get stuck, which causes a blood clot, which causes your blood cannot go through the rest of your body, which means that the oxygen cannot flow through the rest of your body, which means that you're lacking oxygen, which causes a pain crisis. A pain crisis is an excruciating pain episode that can happen anywhere in your body. It could happen in your face, your arms, your chest, your back, your legs, your butt, your feet, your stomach. You couldn't imagine, right? You're like everywhere. And there's no warning on when you're going into a crisis. There's no indication on how long you will be in a crisis. I could do this podcast right now, walk out of here and be in a crisis. I would never know. Right. And I never know how long it's going to last. So I had crisis last for an hour. I had crisis last for 10 hours. I had crisis last for 7 days. And when I say that, that means that I wake up in pain, go throughout my day in pain, go to sleep in pain. It's a continuous cycle. And it's excruciating pain. So that means that, like, sometimes I can either take care of it on my own at my house. Like, let's say I just take my medicine, which I'm on heavy duty narcotics. I take,
was going to ask if there's any medicine for the pain to kind of help ease it a little bit.
Definitely. So when you're at home on, like, your pills, you could either have morphine pills, Percocet, Oxycontin, hydrocodone. Like, those are the narcotics that we're on at home. Right. And then if you were to go to the hospital, then you would transfer. You could either get Dilaudid, morphine, Vicodin, Percocet, but all through the IV. So it hits you faster, and it takes away your pain episodes, faster, and it just helps you be at ease. So if you don't want to go to the hospital, which a lot of us don't like going to the hospital because...
Oh, I hate hospitals.
Yeah, it's just like a long, drawn-out process. So just think about it. You're in pain, excruciating pain. You're in the hospital, and your nurse comes in there, your doctor comes in there. They ask you the same questions. What's your pain level on a scale from 1 to 10? How long have you had this crisis? Is this? Is this that? Where is it hurting? And then it takes them a long time to even put the IV in you, then to order the medicine. It's just like a long drawn out. And you're in pain. Just give it to me already. Another common misconception that a lot of people with sickle cell go through is that we're drug seekers. And so you have to think about it. My first crisis happened at 9 months old. Wow. Which means that I was on these heavy narcotics at 9 months old. Yeah. So when if you don't have a strong personality, if you're a dependent person, if you have an addictive personality, yes, you can get addicted to these drugs. But that does not mean everybody with sickle cell is addicted to these drugs. So what happens is, because a lot of us are drug seekers, when we go to the hospital, it's a lot of questioning. Like, are you sure you're in pain? Where is your pain? How bad is your pain? Are you sure you need this much medicine for your pain? Can I stop it right here? Do you need to be admitted? Like, it's a lot of questions that we go through that if you're not seeking the drugs, it gets annoying because you're like, just help me. I'm here for a reason. I need you to help me. I need you to understand me. I'm in pain. Help me. Like, like, the pain is so bad, it has you contemplating, like, do you even want to live life tomorrow? Literally, like, that's how bad your pain is sometimes. So it's just a lot. But what I'm here to say is, even though I've been battling this since I was born, my first crisis was at 9 months, and I am 24 years old now. life expectancy, before life expectancy was like 20s, 40s. But because of technology, because of medicine, the oldest person we know with sickle cell is around 70 something. And I want to surpass her. I want to live till I'm 100 because I want to prove every doctor, every nurse wrong that gave me a timestamp on my life.
Right.
You know, because who are you to tell me I'm not going to live past 25?
Yeah.
I'm 24, so guess what? I'm going to keep going, you know? So
I love it. I love the motivation.
Thank you.
The urge to prove something to someone.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Thank you so much.
I see it on campus. I see you out on campus.
Thank you.
When you walk in class, you're like, hey, what's up? Listen to music, go into class, doing your thing.
Yes.
I really admire the motivation with something like this because it's, you know, it's serious, y'all.
Yes.
It's something that's real. It's something that's real, and, you know, I think a lot of students may not knowing of it. You know, they don't know. I actually had a good friend, and this is kind of a shout out to us in Academy, a friend named Gavin. He had sickle cell.
Yes.
We were good friends. He came over. We did homework. It was private school. Unfortunately, we sent condolences with his family. He passed away, unfortunately. And it really made an impact to not only to me and my brother Ryan, because we've been to the same private school, and we were able to get on Facebook and talk to us in Academy people like, hey, did you hear about Gavin? Like, are you going to the funeral? How are you okay? Do you need any help? Text me if you need to talk about it.
Right.
You know, so it really is something serious that a lot of students should be aware of.
Yes.
People, some students, some people out there would say, "Oh, sickle cell is just a small thing," but it's not a small thing.
It's not. It's huge.
Huge thing that happens in the world, and you got people like yourself who are motivated, who go out and shine on campus. I see you doing a lot of stuff on campus. I see you. Last year you did fashion. Are you doing a fashion show again this year?
Doing a fashion show again this year.
Doing a fashion show again this year. Maybe we'll reconvene at that because I'm supposed to be doing a podcast with them too. So reconvene with them on that. You being an RA and you educating your residents about the same kind of thing here. It's phenomenal. It's incredible.
Thank you.
And we really love students like you who are able to motivate, and you talk to other people who might have the same sickle cell, and you can have a conversation about it, and you can relate for sure on it. So I really applaud you on that matter.
Thank you.
And I think that's pretty much all I had to ask. Is I wanted to let the people know about the sickle cell and let them know and get them educated. One thing I like to do on the podcast show is that I like to see if you have any shout outs. So you can shout out anybody, RAs, friends, family, whatever. This is going live everywhere.
Okay, so I just want to shout out my whole support system. That's something that I was going to touch on as well. Right. My support system. Listen, when you have sickle cell, when you're going through a chronic illness, when you have chronic pain, sometimes you feel like giving up. Sometimes you don't want to continue. Sometimes you're like, I'm done, I'm tired. But when you have your amazing, great support system, like my mother, my father, my friends, like, oh my God, my friends here on campus are so amazing. I don't want to name drop, but I'm going to just name drop a few. You feel me? Listen, Kasia, I love you so much, man. Like, she is the most solid person. She is always there for me. If I call her at 3 o'clock in the morning, take me to Grady. Who's pulling up on me? Kasia is pulling up on me, giving me massages, making sure I'm straight, giving me food when I can't move. Destiny, I love you so much. You as well. I call you anytime you are on go for me. You're taking me to the hospital. You're massaging me. You ask me if I need anything. India, you come through with the massages every time. India, I love you so much. Oh my God, like, you are the most amazing person. Man, it's so many people. Derek, Harrison, y'all, I don't even want to continue to name drop because I know I'm missing somebody, you know, but like, I'm missing a lot of people, but just that does not mean I do not appreciate you guys. I love you so much. Mommy, I love you so much. Thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for always taking the time out of your day to take care of me when I was not the most healthy. Thank you for missing your jobs repeatedly to take me to the hospital, to not leave my side. Thank you for just being there for me. I love you guys so much. I could not move on and do anything I'm doing without you, because I'm telling y'all, there's times when I want to give up. I promise you, there's times when I just don't want to. I just think about, is it even worth it? The pain I'm going through, is it worth it to live tomorrow? Is it worth it? But y'all, I love y'all so much, man. Thank you for everybody that's listening, and thank you for everybody that wants to get educated. You guys can follow me on Instagram.
Yes, oh my God,
you can follow me on Instagram at BLU3print__. That is 2 underscores. So that's blueprint with a 3. So BLU3print__. You guys can follow me on Instagram. I post a fact every day about sickle cell. It's only for the month of September, but it's going to stay there. So if you follow me, you can go through the facts. You guys can learn. You guys can ask me questions. But y'all, thank you so much. Like I said, my support system, my family. Ooh, my auntie. I can't even believe I forgot my auntie. My auntie and my cousins and my uncle. Y'all, I love y'all so much. But like I said, I'm forgetting hella people, so I'm not even going to keep name dropping. But those are just the ones that I thought on the top of my head, y'all. I love you. Kennedy, thank you so much for bringing me on this podcast. And just know that I'm never going to give up, you guys. As much as I want to and as much as I think about it, I'm never going to give up because I am a vessel of God and I am here to spread awareness. I am here to live my purpose and I will never give up because God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And if I was not meant to go through this, if I was not meant to handle this disease, then God would have never put this on me. And I am showing out with it. I'm living my best life. I travel. I love people. I'm kind. I'm in school. I'm involved. Life does not limit me. I cannot let life limit me. I'm going to keep going. Sky's the limit. Okay, you guys?
Sky's the limit.
Sky is the limit. I promise you. So thank you again so much. It was great talking to you guys. I really hope you guys learned something or I educated you. And if you have any more questions, you could feel free to contact me. Thank you.
My pleasure. Please contact her. Again, that Instagram is blue3print__. Of course, on the IGTV, we'll put your Instagram on there. So for all the followers that may not get it or may type it in wrong or something like that, but please follow her. Nika's very motivated about sickle cell, and it goes a long way. And she's really educating and letting the students know about this matter. As it is still Sickle Cell Awareness Month for the month of September. Cool shirt that she got too. I mean, honestly, we'll post that later too.
Okay.
That shirt is awesome.
Thank you.
So that's going to do it for the Grizzly Talk podcast. Stay tuned for later this week as more podcasts coming up. Nika, it's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you back on the podcast sooner. And that's going to do it for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have a great, fantastic rest of your day. Grizzly Talk podcast host Kenny Patterson. We'll see you guys in the next one.